The full Senate is expected to vote to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson this week after she cleared another hurdle on her path to becoming the next Supreme Court justice. And she picked up key support from two more Republican senators. Caitlin Huey-Burns is following this story and more for us on Capitol Hill. Caitlin, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Vladimir.
So let's talk about Senators Romney and Murkowski. What was their rationale, their reason for sort of bucking the trend from the rest of their colleagues in the GOP?
Well, these were significant votes for the Biden administration because they want to be able to show bipartisan support for their nominee, and they are going to get it. There are going to be 3 senators who vote on the Republican side to confirm Judge Jackson. But the statements from the senators are very interesting. Romney said that he supported her. He said that she was qualified to be a judge. But Murkowski's statement was really interesting. She said that she based her confirmation yes vote on the idea that she is qualified, but also she said her vote is a reflection of rejecting the corrosive politicization of the review process, which she said is getting even worse. And I want to point to a statement from Lindsey Graham made at the hearing yesterday during the Judiciary Committee process. He said that if Republicans get control, if Republicans were in control, Judge Jackson may not have even had a hearing. And that really spoke to the way in which a system that had really worked in a bipartisan way, of senators crossing the aisle to vote for the president's nominee, has really broken down over the past several years. I just talked to Democratic Senator Chris Coons, who sits on that committee. I asked him, what did you make of Graham's statement? And he said, look, I mean, that was loud and clear that if Republicans get control of the Senate, he said, we will genuinely struggle to confirm any nominee to the court. And so you have, even though Judge Jackson is going to be confirmed later this week, you have senators really concerned about the process that this has become and what it could be like in the future for future nominees. This current president has at least 2 years left on his term, so Democrats are growing concerned about that heading into this year's midterms, where Republicans are well poised, at least at this point, to gain seats perhaps in the Senate and the House.
Caitlin, I want to ask you about something else, another full House vote that's coming up on whether former Trump White House aides Dan Scavino and Peter Navarro should be found in contempt of Congress. Of course, after the vote, it's the Justice Department that ultimately makes that decision whether or not to go forward with charges. But this is sort of the second step in that process, holding a full House vote. What can you tell us?
That's right. We're expecting the House to vote sometime this week on this. And because Democrats control the House, we are expecting this to go through. But yes, then it will be up to the Department of Justice for a criminal referral. Remember, the Department of Justice already introduced charges against Steve Bannon. So there is a question of what the Justice Department will do in these cases, and if there are any other further contempt votes for members or for people that the committee wants to talk to that are defying these subpoenas. But why are these two people important? Well, as you know, of course, Navarro was the former trade advisor to the president. It has been reported that he was close to the president. There are questions about whether there was some advising going on about January 6th. And then Dan Scavino, who ran the president's social media account, very close to the former president and advisor. There are questions about the conversations that Trump had on January 6th. Remember, our own Robert Costa reported that there was an over 7-hour gap in the White House diary where there's no record of what the president was doing. There are questions about who he was calling, who he was contacting, whether he used another phone. That's something that Dan Scavino could answer, and that's why the committee has wanted to talk to him.
Let's talk about this now, Caitlin. The Senate has struck a $10 billion deal for COVID relief. Is this a done deal, or will anyone in the House stand in the way?
Well, this is a bipartisan effort. Mitt Romney led this in the Senate. You can expect it to pass, but it's over half. It's less than half of what the White House originally wanted, and you're going to see some dissent on both sides. Republicans are going to likely bring up immigration and Title 42 as part of the amendment process, perhaps. They take issue with that. You also are hearing from Democrats who are upset that this does not include include funding to distribute the vaccine globally. I just talked to a Democratic senator who said that he was irate about this not being included and that it should be. So you're going to hear some griping on both sides. However, leaders of both parties, at least at this point, expect it to pass. So again, not as much as the White House wanted, missing some key elements that Democrats and Republicans want, but the overall pushing for the funding, leaders up here say is necessary.
All right, Caitlin, thank you.